Oh, right. I just realized I forgot to plug my mic in. So I'm going to do that right now. We are live. Give me a second here. Where's my phone? Oof. There we go. Videos earlier and I had to hear it. And the way my computer works is if my mic is plugged in, I can't actually hear audio. So anyway, just had to plug my audio in there. We good now? Make sure our settings good. Yep, we're good. Okay, awesome. All right. Welcome back, you guys. Welcome back to our daily live feed. If you are logging on Instagram, we are also live on YouTube. On YouTube, we have more chat features and screen sharing features and things like that. So you're welcome to come over onto YouTube. I will also be paying attention here on Instagram. But one of the reasons why I'm asking you to go over to YouTube tonight is because I want your input on a lot of things. And I want your comments to come up on the screen so that I can go back and watch. I can write everything down. So when it comes to comments on the Instagram lives, I can't go back and look at comments that happen during the live stream. So I want those comments to be here on YouTube if you're not on YouTube. So if you're over on Instagram right now, if you go onto my link tree in my bio and you click the drop down box, you'll see our YouTube channel there. Just go on over to the YouTube channel and log on YouTube. When you get over to YouTube, say hello, say hi. We always give everybody a few minutes to get logged on before we get rolling into our topic. What's up? Welcome, welcome. And as you are getting logged on, as always, if you would like to come work with me, suitsandposing.com is where you have to go. Hair, makeup, suits and posing, that's what we do. And that's it. That's our little tagline right there. What's up? Welcome, you guys. Welcome. Tonight is going to be a little bit of a State of the Union address kind of thing. Get started on what's coming up this year and address what we want to address and all those kinds of things. What's up, Jamaica? What's up, Jared? What's up, Rachel? What's up, Aurelia? We are all logging on tonight. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. My voice is pretty much back from this weekend, which is great, but I still got a little bit of that congestion stuff in my throat from when I did have COVID. That's the last thing to go. I feel completely fine. It's just I get a little frogginess sometimes. What's up, Raven? Welcome. Got some really good feedback from people on our live from last night in regard to just kind of brainstorming and getting involved and making everybody's business a little bit better, the business of bodybuilding a little bit better. What's up, Christina? Welcome. So I will bring that up from time to time just to keep the conversation going. I think at the end of the day, just again, like I was saying last night, having open lines of communication are really, really important. I think that's the best way to get ideas out there and get stuff flowing. So I'm more than willing, like I've said before, to sit down and talk to anybody that wants to listen. Brainstorm sessions are my jam, you guys. They're my jam. Welcome, you guys. Welcome. I hope everybody's had a great week so far. This whole gang is over on the tube. Last night's live was super lit. Yes, absolutely. Everybody was here last night. And like I said, tonight I'm going to keep all the comments up and everything too. The only time I'll take the comments off of the screen is if we're trying to show some video or pictures or that kind of thing. So I do want to be able to go back and watch and view your comments when we're done with this too. For those of you that don't know, when the lives are over with, they do go back up on YouTube so you can go back and watch. So if you don't make it with us live, then you can watch it the following day when you're on cardio or whatever. So you've got your cardio theater there. And I do encourage you to come back and watch and comment if you missed things, that kind of thing, because sometimes we're on here for hours at a time. Like last night, it was over an hour. I wasn't expecting to be on here for over an hour, but we were. So feel free to come back and comment. I do go back and read the comments and try to respond to everybody as much as I can. So they don't go unnoticed when you get up on here too. And plus all those comments and those likes and all that stuff that helps with our algorithm, helps us get seen more, all of that too. So if you are on YouTube right now, you see the little ticker box saying that the next thing up is the athlete search. So be paying attention because we're going to start hitting you with that stuff tomorrow. So it's coming quick. If you guys have been involved with this before, you know This is the time frame that we always do our athlete search right after we get through with Cuties Conquering the Stage, because we did just sign on new athletes at the event itself. And now we'll be filling out the rest of our roster through the athlete search. It is going to be done differently this year than we've ever done it before. Go figure. We change things all the time. So make sure that you're paying attention, because it is going to be done very differently from previous years. Okay. So you need to be in the know. So I wanted to make sure that we touched on that tonight. I'm also going to go into a tentative show schedule that I have set for myself as far as shows I will be at this year. But before I do that, before I go into that, I'm going to pose this question. And actually, I'm going to put this, the most wonderful time of the year, right? I'm going to put up a new ticker, excuse me, a new ticker box. And I'm going to say, let's see, what do you want to learn about? So this is our overarching theme for tonight's live, okay? I'm putting up that ticker right now. There you go. So I want to know what you want to know, right? So freaking honored. Yes, Jennifer, you are in for life. You are on board for life. So for those of you that don't know, that are new to our brand, if you are wearing our suit when you earn your IFBB Pro card, you then earn a sponsorship for the lifetime of your career. This is also the case if you are a current pro and you win your way to the Olympia. You also get the Pro Performer Promise. So we've had two ladies do that. That's Devin and Andrea in wellness and in fitness. So if you are wearing one of our suits when you qualify for the Olympia, then you also earn a lifetime sponsorship. Pretty easy, pretty simple, you know, in concept. We also give you a trip to the Olympia your first year that you win it as a pro. So like Jennifer came this year. Yeah, it's a pretty fun little program, and then you're with us forever. Yep. Pinnacle Pro Performer Promise. Man, you are on it with those tongue twisters, Jared. If I ever need a nickname or anything like that, I always reach out to Jared, because he's got the skills for the nicknames, right? So with that tonight, like I said, so type into the comment bar some things that we would like to cover, right? So some things that I've covered in the, right, Jared 11, some of the things that I've covered in the past, you know, they still come back around, you know, give you some examples. I've covered on live budgeting for a show. A couple times we've covered that, right? We've gone over budgeting. Yeah. Raven. Yeah. You need a nickname. I'm sure Jared could figure that out for you. I'm sure he could come up with one. We've talked about budgeting. We've talked about as the trends in posing change, we go over those kinds of things. I talked about how to pick a coach. We talked about how to vet a coach. We've talked about when is a good time to start posing. We've talked about how to pick a posing coach. We've talked about all of the things when it comes to competing. So type into the comment bar if there is something that has been on your mind that you want to hear, that you want me to talk about, that kind of thing. One of the things, there was a comment that came in earlier on my Instagram that people wanted to hear my thoughts on the Arnold, and that will be coming up. So I'm going to go over that as well. I've got a list of live feeds coming up, so we're going to go through those as well. I will definitely be giving you my thoughts on the Arnold lineups and all that too. As you know, we do pro show previews and wrap-ups, but currently we don't have any of those until we get into March. So now is our time frame to be learning lots of things. And things change throughout the years. You know, the most recent learning one that we did was in regard to the point system, because they removed the point system, which, by the way, screwed up my entire presentation for Cuties Conquering the Stage. So I had to X out things when it came to my presentation, but that's okay. This is why we pay attention to the updates and the things that happen out there and all of that. You know, one of the current updates that went out this past week was in regard to pulling out of pro shows. All the pros got a message from the IFBB talking about, you know, the fines and things like that if you are to pull out of an invitational pro show. So we might go into that a little bit next week when we're talking about the Arnold and things like that as well, and kind of go into that a little bit more in depth, because I see that from both sides. I see that from the promoter side. I see it from the athlete side. So we'll go into that a little bit next week as well. But go ahead, type in the comment bar. Type in the comment bar if you've got anything that you want me to go over this week. This is your opportunity. Is there something out there that you want to ask this question about? Masters Olympia. What in regards to the Masters Olympia? Because we have talked about the Masters Olympia already. We talked about how that's going to go down and all that kind of stuff. That's going to be an ongoing thing because, again, it's an invitational. So for newbies, when to buy a suit, I thought the strategy talk you gave would be great for those who tune in. Going into a little bit more depth of what that means, I think it would be excellent for those who want to be competitive. So the thing with the strategy thing is kind of what we talked about at CCTS is it's very individual to the person, right? So that's why when we were there, I had people, kind of give me their thought processes and things like that. So we can go into it a little bit, but it's hard when I can't take a specific person and talk about it because it is so individual. But there are lots of things that you can keep in mind for sure. Ways to build genuine relationships and good reputation in the bodybuilding industry. I like that. I like the when to buy a new suit too. That's a good idea as well. We can definitely do a full live feed on something like that. Body dysmorphia during off season. What's up, Yolanda? Welcome. Happy Thursday to you too. Going deeper into the importance of improvement season, benefits to the break from stage. Yes, we can definitely go through that. That's a huge one. I preach that one every day in my everyday life. If you pay attention to my personal Instagram, I talk about that a lot. There's reason for that. It's important. It's very important. So we can definitely do a full live stream on that. Again, when these questions come in sometimes during my lives, like when I'm on a different topic, I don't go into them fully because it would take a whole new live stream in order to do that. So this is your opportunity to put those kinds of questions into that box because I can go ahead and start programming lives to cover these things as we go forward, right? So it's hard to go into depth on some of these questions in a matter of a couple of minutes. So, going into a full explanation is a lot better, I think, personally. Yep, Karen's a good one. Got a good one for sure. Yep, body dysmorphia is definitely a real thing, you guys, for sure. It's definitely a real thing. And a lot of people deal with it in our industry. And I even saw it at Cuties Coming to the Stage. A lot of girls were like, I don't look, stage lean. I'm like, that's okay. None of us do. You know what I mean? Like it's not normal to be stage lean 24/7. That's not normal. So a lot of people do get body dysmorphia specifically in this particular industry too. What else? What are the questions and things would you like us to cover? This is just a chance for you to get some of those thoughts out there because then we can spawn off of those lives as well. So like when we start live on body dysmorphia, that'll probably take off into other directions as well that we can create lives from too. So typical structure for posing practice, stretch, mandatory routine stretch, video review. We touched on this Monday. Yep, we sure did. Yep. I know, right? All the irony. Yep. Mm-hmm. It's so funny. And just a little bit of I'm touching on that is like also the cultural difference in bodies is interesting because when I was growing up, it was all about being a size 0. If you were bigger than a size 0, you were fat. That was like you wanted to fit into the smallest possible jeans, and not having a butt, all that kind of stuff. Now, what's trendy is the exact opposite of that. It's like the bigger your butt is, the better you are, kind of thing. So it's definitely a very real thing. It's actually the actual trend now for bodies to be popular bodies. I think actually helps girls when they're in their improvement season, to be honest with you, because when I was first starting this, being told I had to gain weight was a very, very difficult thing for me. It was a very, very difficult thing for me based on how I had actually grown up wanting to be as thin as possible, right? Still in that mindset, right? Yeah, it's hard. I mean, I grew up, modeling and all that kind of stuff. And seriously, it was like, I'm 5'9". So if you were over a size 4, you were considered plus size. Over a size 4. So that was ridiculous. And I've always been a little bit of a thicker girl, a little bit of a curvier girl for my height when it comes to modeling. So it was one of those things that was very, very difficult for me. Very, very difficult for me. So yes, embracing curves in the off season and having multiple sizes in your closet, right? You've done how to do vacuums properly before. A view on that might be helpful. Yeah, we could definitely do that for sure. What else? Man, I used to get teased so much for having a big butt. Now people commented all the time. Yeah, right? Everybody wants your butt now, right? You ladies that have these fantastic glutes, I'm like, give me some, give me some. Whereas back when I was in my 20s, it was like, can you stick that butt inside the smallest pair of jeans possible? Right? Like, get rid of it kind of thing. Oh my goodness, the low-rise jeans where your ass crack came out the top. Yeah, that was fun times. I'm all about the mom jeans now. I'm all about it now, man. Oh, they're so much more flattering. Oh man. The things the way the trends change, you guys, the way the trends change, my goodness. Although I know at times you must be realistic, it truly bothers me that some coaches will force girls to go to wellness or figure when they prefer to stay in bikini. So that's something we could definitely talk about. That's a whole live feed in and of itself for sure. So, the first thing I'll say is that you got to do you. Your coach is just your coach. It's all about what you want to do 365. So I'll just put that much on it right now, but we could do a whole live feed on that for sure. Yeah, the Britney Spears era. So like me and Britney Spears, we the same age. Like I came up in the Britney Spears and Christina Aguilera rivalry thing, and Jessica Simpson was the good girl, right? That was me. That was me coming up in that whole thing. So yes, Christina Aguilera was the slutty one. Jessica Simpson was the good girl, and Britney was like in between. Everybody wanted to be Britney, right? Oh my goodness. Like literally everyone wanted to be Britney. Like everybody dressed up like her for Halloween. Like it was so funny because you'd have like the majority of the girls would dress up as Britney for Halloween, and then you'd have like one or two that would dress up as Christina. Oh my God, it's so funny. That's my era right there. That's my era. Yes, for real. That was those good times right there. Good times. Yeah. Too funny. I didn't plan on this live feed being like a walk down memory lane, but it so was. It was like, remember, like, I don't know if you guys had these, but the Christina Aguilera, like she had those extensions that were different colors. So you would buy the clip-in extensions that were like red or blue or something like that. Yeah. Did all that too. Now that I know, right? Poor Britney. Oh, I just want to give her a hug. Poor thing. And you look back on it, it's like, man, that poor girl went through the ringer, right? But back then, we all wanted to be her. We all wanted to be her back then. Man, Lord Jesus. I wish I could have as much energy as her in her dancing videos. I'm not going to say I wish I could dance like her. I wish I could have as much energy as her in all of her little Instagram posts. My goodness gracious, that girl can move. So I did it again. Yep. That's it. The boy band era with Backstreet Boys and NSYNC. I was an NSYNC fan. Justin Timberlake, he was my jam right there. Justin Timberlake, I was all about it. I thought I was going to marry Justin Timberlake. Oh, yeah. That was me. All right. We're getting personal now. I didn't like the Backstreet Boys, to be honest with you, but I did like NSYNC. NSYNC was my jam. Yep. All right, let's get back on track here. Okay, what else? Any other topics that you'd like me to cover as we're going through? We're getting some really good ones here, guys. And like I said, keep typing them into the comments because then I can go back and I can watch the comment section and I can pull all of them to come forward. So, yeah. Plus, oh my God, I could do a whole live feed like reminiscing, Saved by the Bell, all that too. That was all back there too. Oh my gosh, all those times. Oh, good times when life was simpler, right? I'm gonna leave this comment box open. If you've got more topics you'd like to cover, go ahead and type them in. And I'm gonna move into kind of giving you a rundown of my tentative show schedule. Right? My tentative show schedule coming up because things have changed. Virtual girls night out, right? Exactly. Yes. We'll get into that. Start learning dances, new dances. I can teach the NSYNC dances. All right. I got you. I can do the bye. I can do all that. So all that. Yeah. So that the whole topic of bikinis for sure. I got you guys. I got you. Now I say this is tentative as far as my schedule is concerned because we have had a lot of shows that have actually moved venue, like locations. They've moved locations. They've moved dates. We currently have like no shows in Maryland right now because that particular promoter decided to not promote anymore. So I used to go to all those shows. So those are all off the books right now. So I'm not sure exactly what's going to go on with those. I don't know if another promoter is going to take them over or what. So like I said, a lot of these things could change. But essentially what I'm doing is I'm trying to keep myself to 2 shows or less a month. For me personally, when I start doing like 3-4 shows a month, it starts getting too much because I can't keep up with stuff at home. I do have to do all of these suits, all of the posing, all of the actual like retail and all that stuff when I'm home as well. So when I'm on the road so much, it just becomes too much. So I am trying to keep it to, like I said, 2 shows a month, at max 3. I don't even want to do that if I don't have to. And then once we get into like August, September range, I don't have a lot of stuff on the books yet. But this is how I typically do it. I typically get through till July, and then August we have some question marks, and then we'll go into the fall. So it's kind of like I split the season up into two segments, really. But I do have like my main shows that I go to every year. So I will still be doing those. And then a lot of them are up in the air, depending on how many competitors we have at each show. So just if you got your pen and paper out, but you can always go back again and watch this over again. So starting the very first show that we will be at will be the Arnold in March. We go to the Arnold every single year. So what I do at these shows is, if you are a client of mine and you're competing, we can do posing. If you're not competing, we can still do posing. But I will say this: if you are not competing and you are a client of mine, my priority goes to the girls that are already competing in that show. So if they're competing in that show, they get first dibs. If I still have more time, then we can schedule people who are maybe in that area that want to pose with me in person, and we can schedule those. But my priority goes to people already competing. Okay. So we will be doing the Arnold. Most of my business at the Arnold will be in regard to actually doing coverage for you guys, right? Getting my 2 cents in on stuff, just like I do with every show that I go to, every major show that I go to. So that will be the main focus for the Arnold, but I will be at the Arnold. Again, I go to the Arnold every year. So that's our first one. Next one that is a question mark potentially is Border Clash, which is March 25th. This one will be dependent upon how many clients I have in the show. If it makes it worth it for me to travel, I will go. So if you are planning on doing the Border Clash, let me know, because that will make my decision as far as if I'm going to that show or if I'm not. So this is a lot of things when we're talking about travel. It has to be worth it for me to go, right? So a lot of these ones that I have as question marks will be because I just have to see how many people are going to be going, right? So Border Clash is the next one that's a potential one, right? So again, make sure you let me know if you're doing the show, so that way I can make decisions. Once we get into April, we have the Warrior Classic. So the Warrior Classic moved to April. That's typically in the summertime. And it was in Richmond. Now it's moved up to Alexandria. So it's very, very local. So I will definitely be at Warrior Classic in April. That's the 8th. And then we have the NPC Virginia Classic, which is the 22nd of April. Again, that one is literally down the street. I can stay at home and go to that one. So I will be at that one for sure. The Max Muscle people, I go to all their shows. So, because they literally are 10 minutes down the road. So I will be there for sure. Once we get into May, Pittsburgh Pro for sure. That is the 12th and 13th in May. And then May's kind of open. Again, a lot of these spring shows, I used to go to Maryland shows, and now they're not existing anymore. So we'll see what happens with those. Again, this could be a change here somewhere. So I've got one show on the books right now for May. Again, that could change. June, we have the DC Pro-Am on the 10th. I will definitely be there. Again, it's here in our area. So I will 100% be there. And then depending on how many clients we have going to Junior Nationals, that is a question mark that is on the books for a potential show as well. Usually I do go to Junior Nationals. Junior USA's, I believe, is in May. And I haven't gone to that one in the last few years because we typically have stuff going on here that I have to deal with. So I don't have that one down right now. But if we have a decent number of girls that are planning on going to Junior USA's, that is something that I could potentially put on the books as well. Excuse me. July. As we get into July, we have Masters Nationals. There are a lot of shows in July, so I cut it down to 2. We have Masters Nationals, which is the 19th to the 22nd. Masters Nationals is a long trip because it's a long show. And again, Universe is also at the beginning of July. That is another one that is a potential if we have enough clients going. But usually at this point, I don't do that one because, again, it's a long show. And when I have to be away from home, the business here for, 4 days, that's a lot. And Masters Nationals is a long one, and we always have a lot of clients at that one. So I will be there for sure. I always am. Clash of the Titans is on the 29th of July. Again, right down the street from here. So I will definitely be at that one. Once we get into August is always a very busy month. And this one, we're going to put a big question mark next to each one of these, except for North Americans. North Americans for sure. North Americans into Masters Worlds, which is August 30th through September 3rd. 100% will be there for sure. I have 3 other shows that have question marks next to them for August, which is Tampa Pro, which is the 3rd through 5th. Typically, I do go to that one. That same weekend is the Premier Muscle Championship, which some of you ladies earned entries to that particular show at CCTS. So I do have that one as a potential. So if you ladies end up going and competing and you have a handful of girls going, I do have that one as a potential, and I would do that one over Tampa because they're the same day, the same weekend. So I have to pick one or the other depending on where the girls are going. I usually go to Tampa, but I will be going wherever you guys are going. And then we have Nashville Fit Show, which is the 19th, which I do go to that one every year. That is one that I have planted on my calendar as a yes. So we do have Nashville Fit Show as well. Once we get into September, like I said, we've got Masters World, which goes into September, that Labor Day weekend. And then we start going into the fall, which I don't have a lot set for the fall, namely because I'm probably going to be competing at that point. So I have to leave some weekends open for me to actually compete. So there's that. But we've got Olympia in November, Nationals in Texas in December. We've got the Ben Weider in November, and we've also got the Mid-Atlantic Armed Forces Virginia State show in November as well. So those are all yeses right there that I will definitely be at. All right, so that's my potential show schedule at this point. And like I said, they're subject to change based on how many girls we have at each show, travel costs, things like that, how long I have to be there, all of those things. So this schedule should be going up on my makeup and hair schedule within the next few days. My husband's got to get updated for this year. But minus the Maryland shows that are no longer there, it's pretty close to what we typically do. So if you have any particular shows that you're planning on doing, going to, being a part of, competing in, that kind of thing, that you want me there for, let me know, because there's opportunities for me to put in some more shows here. It's just a matter of, again, going to how many girls are going to be there. And if I have at least 4 girls competing, then I will make a commitment to go, right? If I have at least 4. So that's my 2 cents there. We will be putting out Sundays with Sean dates very, very soon. I'm just waiting to hear back on some confirmation on the first set of dates from the shop gym. So that's up next. I hope to get those started this month. So be paying attention. Okay. Yes, it's still a very full schedule. But I have also learned, like I said, not to schedule more than 2 shows a month. It becomes very, very difficult for me to keep up if I have more than 2 shows a month that I'm traveling to. So the other part of it is that my weekends, as far as like my Saturdays and stuff, are always my busiest days when it comes to clients for posing. And then also Sundays when we do our posing seminars, like I want to be able to have Sundays, at least 2 of those a month. So that's, if you're paying attention, you go to a show twice a month and then you have Sundays with Sean twice a month, that's your full month of weekends right there. So yeah, I'm doing my best, you guys, do my best to keep up. And like I said, I'm always open to the conversation of, if you've got a group that we're going to this show, then let's talk about it, right? Let's make sure that you guys are taken care of. Any questions on that? Any questions on the show schedule? Anything like that? Okay. With that, I'm going to talk about what we're going to do next week. Okay. So like I mentioned, starting tomorrow, we're going to start hitting you guys with stuff about the athlete search. Yeah, I'm doing it. So we're going to start hitting you with stuff about the athlete search and how you can apply to become a sponsored athlete. So be paying attention to social media and email boxes. A lot of times our emails go to spam. Make sure that you open those up. Go check your spam box, okay? So that you can whitelist us. Make sure we're getting into your primary inbox so you don't miss any announcements and things that we're doing, all right? It's really important that you're on top of it, okay? Now I pick my shows on where you'll be. Yeah, there you go. There you go. And I can make sure that you put your bikini on the right way, right, Karen? Yeah, here we go. We're off to the races, you guys. So, like I said, the athlete search announcements and emails and all those kinds of things are going to start coming out starting tomorrow. So be paying attention. Next week, we will start doing lives again on Tuesday. Like I said, I don't do lives on Monday, but we will start lives on Tuesday. And this is what we're going to do next week so that you can be prepared for our live streams for next week. Okay. Tuesday, I'm going to announce our winner of the most improved crown from our live feed attendees from CCTS. So for those of you that don't know, the people that were on live with us in the live stream, they are also eligible to win a crown of most improved. So they've submitted videos. I have those to go through. Everybody's submitted theirs already. I will announce the winner for that on Tuesday. Okay, so that's going to come Tuesday night. What else? So that night we are also going to wrap up the Wellness Olympia because we still haven't done that. And I haven't had a chance to go through that yet. So my husband bought me this, so I don't know where he got it, but yeah, it's pretty special, right? It's actually purple. It's hard to see that on the live stream, but it is purple with bling. I don't know. My husband got it for me because he knows I'm extra and he knows I like sparkle. So this is a gift from him. So I'm extra like that. Yeah, it was a Christmas gift. So let's see, Tuesday, like I said, and we're gonna have athlete search stuff coming up and everything like that too. So be paying attention for that. We're going to wrap up the Wellness Olympia on Tuesday. Okay. The reason we're going to do that is because on Wednesday, we are going to preview the wellness lineup for the Arnold. Okay. So this is going to go hand in hand. So I haven't done my wrap up yet for Wellness for Olympia. We're going to do that on Tuesday. Okay. Then we're going to preview the wellness lineup for the Arnold on Wednesday. Okay. Then Thursday, we will preview the Bikini Arnold lineup. Okay. Now I know a lot of people have already done these previews, but the competitor lists have changed. So there's a reason why I waited on this because I had a feeling this kind of thing was going to happen. So we're going to go through our previews and everything next week. I think at this point, we can probably say that it's pretty solid unless somebody drops out last minute because of an injury or sickness or something like that. I don't think we're going to have any more swap outs, anything like that. So we'll start all of that stuff next week. So get ready for that. Again, pay attention to your inboxes because of the athlete search stuff coming up. So if you want to be potentially, chosen as a sponsored athlete, this is where we're starting it. Starting tomorrow, you're going to start seeing some announcements coming out. Okay. Yes, the Arnold lineups. So for those of you that don't know, like I posted this already in my stories on my Instagram, my personal Instagram. I'm not hugely a fan of the open men lineup this year, but I will say that now that that Nick Walker's in it makes it a little bit more interesting. So it's actually going to be a pretty good lineup for the open men now. But for the women's, we have some big rivalries in the women's lineups for the Arnold. So I'm actually super excited about the wellness and the bikini lineups. So those are going to be really fun to preview because it's going to be really hard to choose people. It's going to be really hard to choose people. So we're going to go into all that next week. And like I said, before we go into it, I do want to go ahead and wrap up Wellness Olympia as well because we haven't done that yet. And I've got lots of video footage and things like that. And I want to show you guys that stuff. So yeah, we got some heavy hitters. We do. We got some heavy hitters. There's going to be a lot of titles on the line. There's going to be some upsets, I think. It's going to be interesting to see how it all plays out. So that's going to be our schedule for next week. Okay. So before we finish off for tonight, any other questions that you would like me to consider covering in a live feed? I'll give you guys another few minutes to do that, and that'll be the end of our live feed for tonight. This is, again, just kind of a State of the Union address going forward for our new year that's already here. And the next, 6 weeks or so before the Arnold starts is going to go by fast. It's going to go by quick. So we'll get through some pretty quick stuff here. Okay. Anything else? Like I said, I'll leave it open for another minute or two, and then we'll be done for tonight. We went long last night, so I'm keeping it. Well, it's still over a half an hour right now. So we still went over a half an hour. So and I don't know if you can tell through the reflection in my glasses, but I got my vanity light here because someone at CCTS, and it might not have been one of the girls, it might have been somebody at the staff, knocked over and broke my ring light. So I had to order a new ring light, which will be here tomorrow. That's why my progress pictures were a little funky this morning, the one directional light, because I had my video lights on me this morning for my progress photos instead of my ring light. You guys know how anal I am when it comes to my photos. You know how anal I am. And so that really annoyed me. But I still got it done. I still got it fixed. So right now I brought my vanity light from one of my spare bedrooms upstairs down into my studio so that I would have light for you guys. For my own edification, I'd be curious to know what other judges besides Sandy are good to get in front of. That's a really complex question, actually, and it's highly dependent upon the person. Again, going back to that, the strategy thing. We talked about the pro card path and everything at Cuties Conference Stage. Once you get into the pro league, it's a different game, and it does have to do with which judging panels you decide to get in front of and things like that. I actually just talked to Jennifer about this the other day when we were talking about show choices and all of that too. So I said it right to you. Did I not, Jennifer? So this was great. I also love you sending the itinerary TV guide, essentially. Yes, for the next week. Marked my calendar. There you go. Yes. So I'm going to try and do that a little bit more often too, just so you guys know exactly what I'm going to be covering. This is one of the reasons why I had you all tell me some of the live feeds that you would like to hear, that you'd like me to teach about. So then that way I can prepare it and be ready for you ahead of time. So I'd like to hear from you too. Yeah, right. Well, again, when it comes to judging panels, it's highly dependent upon the person, and a lot of it is trial and error. But as Jennifer knows, I did tell her my 2 cents as far as how she should plan her season, because she picked some shows that I didn't actually agree with. So part of the reason why I didn't agree with it is because of the judging panels. So, it is what it is, but you've got only so many shots to fire. You want to make sure that you are hitting them full throttle on target, right? So yes, we do need to chat, Brandy. We absolutely do. So, and it's individual. It's individual. And you don't really know until you start getting in front of these judges as far as where you should set your sights. For you, Brandy, though, based on your ascension this past year, I do have a pretty good idea of how you should plan your season for you, Brandy. I do. So, old anxious Annie over here just wanted to get on stage, right? Yeah, Jennifer just wanted to get on stage as quickly as she could get on stage. I was like, no. You're in the pro league. You have placed top 5. That is not how we play this anymore. You have already hit a top 5. We got to do better next time. So we got to play it a little bit tighter to the chest right now. So, yep. So, all of those things matter. It's a strategy, you guys. It really is. There is a strategy to this game on both the amateur and the pro level. And it's important that you have people that understand how to play that strategy that are in your corner, right? Yeah, right, right. Brandy was already in my inbox today about suit colors. Got her thinking with that black suit, that black posing suit from Cuties Conquer the Stage, right? Got you thinking. All right. Any other questions that you'd like me to cover in live feeds? We are going to the, yeah. Yep. Now, once you hit that top 5 on the pro stage, you really got to start playing your chips right, so that you can keep moving up. Yep. It's not about just getting on stage anymore. It's about winning. It's about that winning mentality at this point. Any other questions? For sure, cuties should always run things by mama before. And yep, I got you. You know, I've told you guys, you know this. I mean, all of you that have worked with me, you know I shoot you straight. I will not tell you something that you just want to hear. I'm going to tell you the truth. I'm going to tell you what you need to do versus what you want to do. And I'll give you the why behind it too. Just like Jennifer says, I told her exactly why I'm saying what I'm saying. And it made sense, right? I think it made sense, right? I'm assuming it made sense. Yes. Absolutely. Drop me an email, Raven. I got you. I got control over here. Yep. I tell people all the time, like, I will definitely give you advice. Now, I can't tell you that for sure I'm going to be right, but I will say I have a pretty good track record of being right. I make very calculated decisions. Because, again, you only have so many shots. You only have so many bullets in your gun, right? You only have so many shots to take. So you want to take the right ones, right? You want to be aiming at the right spots, right? Right? Just go on ahead and plan it. That's what I do, you guys. That's why I get paid the big bucks, you guys. That's why I get paid the big bucks, because I help you navigate all of this, right? Yes, Raven's on the way. She sure is. Absolutely. 100%. So when we wrap up this particular live feed here, guys, anybody that comes on and watches this afterwards, put into the comment section live feeds that you would like me to do. You know, if you were here on Instagram with us, do the same thing. Put it on the Instagram underneath. So that way I can go back and I can watch it, look at your actual comments and put them into a schedule for these live feeds. So I can actually cover these things and educate you on the questions that you have, right? Sean be knowing. I know, right? Yeah. That's a good phrase right there, Brandy. I mean, all I'm saying is everything I told you to do this past year was right. And you had a perfect season, literally had a perfect season. So the proof is in the pudding, you guys. The proof is in the pudding. I wouldn't go out there and tell you all this stuff if I didn't have proof that it works. It does. I kind of know what I'm talking about sometimes. It's just sometimes on some topics, on these topics, not on all topics, but on these topics. But here's the thing. If I don't know the answer, I'm going to find you somebody who does. I'm going to send you to somebody who does know the answer, right? I am not like, I don't think I know everything. If there is something that I don't know, I will 100% find you somebody that does. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes, you need a therapy session, right? Yep. All right, you guys. I said I was going to log off like 10 minutes ago, and I've been sitting here just BSing for the last 10 minutes, but that's cool because I love when you guys BS with me. I love the comment section. It's great. Cute. Yeah, we need to find out who's going to the Arnold too. Absolutely. So I think we should do that as we're going through the athlete search and stuff too, just so we can get kind of a head count, so we can get pictures, we can have some fun, just like we did at the Olympia, all of that, right? Mm-hmm. Yes. The Arnold is within driving distance for me. So depending on flight schedules and prices, I decide if I'm going to fly or if I'm going to drive. It's actually not bad. It's only about 6 hours. That's my threshold. 6 hours is my threshold for driving. So Jamaica will be there, right? Jamaica's always there, right? She's like, count me in last minute. She'll tell you the day before she goes, but she'll be there. Oh gosh. Okay. So like I said, be paying attention for athlete search announcements over the next few days here. We're going to get rolling into that next week. And that's it. Go back and watch this. If you didn't watch the whole thing, go back and watch it over again so you get an idea of what the live feeds are going to be, what my schedule is going to be, all of those things. If you have not done so already, subscribe, like, comment, share, all of the things that I need you to do to get my algorithms up and working for me. So that helps all of us. New idea for a live feed, talk about the master. That one was actually brought up earlier, but yes, and we have talked about it. That again, that's going to be an ongoing thing because it's going to be an invitational. So that's going to be something we're going to have to talk about as we get closer, kind of thing. But yeah, that's been brought up. So that's it. I'm gonna let you guys go. I still got to go eat. So I got to let you guys go so I can go eat. That's really important. I'm trying to grow over here. Trying to grow. I was trying to beat Brandy with her delts at the SCCTS. It didn't work. She definitely beat me. So, all right. All right, you guys. I hope you have a great night. Again, suitsymposium.com if you want to come work with me. Watch this back if you're just joining us now, so that you can get a handle on how our year is going to start shaping out as we move forward. Okay. I'll talk to you all on Tuesday. Going to X out of Instagram first. And then the delts. Yes, the delts.